Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Adrian Strongborn here, slash Sunpal here. Today, we're going to be ranking cartoons on a tier list. And don't worry, I got it all organized. Oh my goodness, there's just so many of them I have not looked at. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. But yeah, this will be only part one. There will be more in the future. Um, I hope I can get that right. I think I'll do a part two of this, maybe. I'm not sure because, well, I do know, I'm sure, because there's even more cartoons I watch than all of this stuff. But anyways, yeah, this huge list has some that I know, but I didn't even see it. So basically, how this is going to work for part one and part two, maybe even part three, I'm not sure, depending on how many other ones that I have not seen on the thing. Whatever. But anyways, so how this is going to work is S tier is I'd say is underrated, and F tier means it's really boring and I don't really enjoy that too much. And this is like my childhood stuff mainly. I just wanted to get it off my chest so that way people can understand what I watched when I was young. Um, but yeah, um, found a lot of interesting cartoons that I've never really watched. Maybe might have to take a listen or watch myself to a lot of this. There's just so many of them. I don't even know. Like, I'm impressed of how many hard work they put into making all this stuff. That's crazy. None of them I don't think really seem really interesting to watch. I mean, there's kind of some of them, but it's not like a whole bunch of them. I didn't know there was a Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon version. That was something new I didn't know about. Um, I've seen Carmen Sandiego, but this is like on PBS Kids. Not this version. This one's a Netflix ripoff of it. Bluey, I've heard a little bit about. Um, just haven't seen it really because I don't watch childish ones. But anyways, yeah, let's get into the video. First off, Ultimate Spider-Man. I've seen quite a few. I think when I seen it, and I will give my details on when I started watching a little bit of this. So with everyone I know so far from this, some of them will have. I mean, I've never seen. I'm gonna start with things out a little bit differently. Hold on, I want to switch topics with Ultimate Spider-Man. Green. There might be some on here that I have not watched, but I I mean, there's some books that I will also say that will be in there, and also Breadwinners I didn't really watch really. But anyways, the Ultimate Spider-Man. So the Ultimate Spider-Man. When I watched the Ultimate Spider-Man, the cartoon, I remembered that I think it was 2017, 16, somewhere around that time. I don't know when the Ultimate Spider-Man came out. I could look it up, uh, but I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to waste any time. The Spider-Man one, I will tell you, I think it's cool how it was animated and stuff. Um, so basically, every morning there was like a separate channel, a separate random indie channel, and it'd select different episodes and they would record it and they would put it onto the channel. So they'll have like Ultimate Spider-Man next, and then they'll have, like, for example, they'll have Rescue Heroes, which isn't on here. Then they'll have Elvin, maybe. I'm not sure. There'll be like rarity episodes on a um, channel, and you'd watch it and stuff. I remember that stuff. But anyways, Ultimate Spider-Man was based off of what I was just saying, and I'd watch it before I go to bowling every Saturday. And yeah, I just it's just memories, I gotta say. So how often would I watch it? I'd watch it quite a few times. It's been a while since I watched it, but I think hold on. What is this? Hold on. Wait, what? Sorry. The Ultimate Spider-Man, I think, in my opinion. Oh wait, you know what? I have a better idea. Sorry. You know what? Let me organize the thing real quick so that way it can be a lot easier. So that way we don't have to deal with this blah. But Ultimate Spider-Man, I think it's kind of a classic because I do have a tie with that. Um, what would I rank it? I think it might be B. It's kind of in the middle. I think it has a little bit of memories. I do watch a little bit of that. But anyways, the next one, Miraculous Ladybug in Cat Noir. Um, this is the same thing. It'd be like it on like a indie channel, and the time of me watching Miraculous and Cat Noir and that stuff. Oh my goodness. That crap takes me back to 2019, 2020, 2021. I'd watch that stuff. Or I don't even think it was around 2021. 2021 maybe a little bit, but it wasn't in that time really range really that much around that year. But I know 2019, 2020 it had that, and I'd watch it. I would go over to my aunt and uncle's and watch it. Because it'd be on Nickelodeon sometimes. I think it was on there if it was Disney Channel. Not entirely sure. I'd watch it a lot. I thought the series and the cartoon was a memory. So if I have to rank Miraculous, Cat Noir, and Ladybug, I'm saying it wrong. Sorry. I think I'd rank that A tier because it's just memories and stuff. So I'd say it's A/B. Next one is Teen Titans Go. When was the first time I've ever watched that show? Maybe it was 2014, maybe it was 2015. Not entirely sure. But I know that's like an old show I'd watch, a cartoon. Yeah, it's pretty cool to watch it when I was young. It was really fun and interesting, and I'd say I'd always watch it a lot. I find that cartoon show to be an awesome one to watch, I will say. Um, I think Teen Titans Go, like, I get done with bowling and then I'd go to like a place called the Filling Station. It's like a dine-in, and up against the wall they have TVs, and then by their like condiments and stuff up against the wall that they have a remote where you can adjust whatever channel you would like to watch, and I just thought that experience was amazing. I have deep, significant memories with it, I will say. Teen Titans is amazing. There's a lot of cool episodes. I like the art style. I like how fun and enjoying it was. Another memory that takes me back to it as well is the fact that when Family Video was around in my town, I'd always rent this their series and stuff to watch the whole entire thing. But sadly, they went out of business due to stupid renting online, which is the most stupid bullcrap thing that they've done to ruin what is public entertainment and stuff. And when they have it on media and stuff, you can't go out in public as much, and that's just a heartbreaking thing, I'd say. Um, yeah, I just think Teen Titans Go. I think it's a classic. If I had to rank Teen Titans Go, I think it's an A tier. I find it as a memory and kind of underrated. So Teen Titans Go, I'd rank it A/S tier because it's just cool to watch that. Next one, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When I watched this show on Nickelodeon, the only thing, well, there's like couple or three memories with that show. Um, if I can remember, I remember there was a time, and this took place 2016, because I watched this stuff, and this is when also the movies were popping off as well. They had their own movies, real life movies, not cartoon, but real life projects of this cartoon show. And I remembered I think it'd be a time where I'd come and visit my dad and we would go out to eat. I remember at a restaurant and I sit down on like a stool that's like in the restaurant, has like a ledge of a table, and this show takes me back to it because I watched it there. I can say it's just awesome. I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'd say. And then another memory too is I'd watch it over to my aunt's house as well. And yeah, it was really cool. I watched it a couple times. I rather prefer the real life movies than that one, I would say. But I'd say it's kind of fair with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think if I have to rank Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, might have to put this A tier because it's so cool and stuff. And so, yeah. The next one is Scooby Doo Mysteries Incorporated. Um, like I said with Ultimate Spider-Man Miraculous, they're indie shows, and you could put it on there and you'd watch it. In my opinion, I don't know if I think I remember a little bit that Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated. I'm not sure if that was like a 2012 I watched it. I know I watched the cartoon. I think it might have been 2022, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I will say I've watched it, maybe got bored out of it before. I think if I have to rank Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated, I think I'd rank it C tier. I think I've watched it before. I just probably felt lost with it and not really interested into it really that much, I will say. But anyways, yeah. The next one is Sonic Boom. It's an indie show. The time where I watched it, I think, is 2016/2017, 2018, somewhere around there. Um, I'm not sure really. I mean, I've watched a couple episodes from Sonic Boom, and I'd say I'm kind of bored with it. Um, I think maybe Sonic Boom. If I have to rank Sonic Boom, I don't really have really too much with it, but I will say it's the easy ranking, and I'm gonna rank it C. Um, Next one, Alvin and the Chipmunks. Alvin and the Chipmunks cartoon version. I believe I started watching that 2018, 2017. Um, I'd watch it at my aunt's house, and I'd always have macaroni and cheese. Put pepper on top of the macaroni and cheese. I try Cheetos on top of macaroni and cheese. I try shells and cheese, and it's a vibe. I think Alvin and the Chipmunks is a classic in my opinion. In my eyes, I just felt like times around like those times was so real. It was like enjoying times, I'd say. I'd always sit on the ground or I'd be like laying on the bed watching it. It'd be so fun to watch, I will say. So if I have to rank Alvin and the Chipmunks, I think I would rank it S tier because I remembered a lot of things around this show was happening for me as well when watching it. But yeah, that's what I'll say. Next one is DC Superhero Girls. Yes, I've watched that show, and I watched that show actually 2022, 2023. I started looking into it a little bit around those years. I didn't watch it when it was like going to be like the first time ever dropping that type of release. I wasn't into that, but when I got to 2022 slash 2023, I came across like relationship type of things. The only thing really seems impressive to me about that show is only the relationship things because it was enjoying and kind of things to look forward to and stuff. I'm not sure, but um, I watched a couple episodes from the show. Um, Nowadays, I don't look into it as much, and I find it boring. Um, if I have to rank DC superhero girls, I'd say it's a B. I'd say I rank it B. Next one is Kick Buttowski. Um, I the only thing I can tell you about Kick Buttowski is only from an episode only, so this might be a D ranking. I'd say for Kick Buttowski. I've never watched it really, but I have seen an episode or two while watching Kick Buttowski. So I will be ranking Kick Buttowski D tier. I've seen only like an episode from YouTube where he runs into like a movie theater, try to get away from the manager or something, and he went and sit on the theater chair, and this girl that's so obsessed with him, he kisses. Kick Buttowski kisses the girl. I don't know her name, but kisses the girl, and the girl felt really impressed and was really romantic with that because the film that they were watching was like a Paris type of movie or something. It's like a Italian movie or something, some sort. But anyways, yeah, the next one is Monsters versus Aliens. I watched a little bit with that. Um, I don't find it any interesting anymore. I think when I watched it, I think it was around 2012 when I watched it because I was over to my sister's mom's house. Maybe that show was on, not entirely sure. Um, I've watched the movie. I think the movie, in my opinion, is way better than that. I'd say. I think when that show was out, I believe Happy Meals was a thing for McDonald's, and the toy was a collaboration with that movie project as well. And I got like the butterfly, dragon butterfly, I don't know, type of. It was like a red type of thing. I'm not sure who the character is, but you probably guys would know. It's like a huge, giant, enormous Godzilla red larva of a butterfly. I'm not sure, but it's you could probably tell by the color, like red and purple, that type of thing. It was like that type of toy, and I got it from the Happy Meal from McDonald's because I got it from McDonald's when I was doing it. So, I think Monsters versus Aliens. I've watched a little bit, don't find any enjoyment. I'd probably rank it C tier. Next one is Ninjago. Ninjago, I will tell you, is a memory. Ninjago, when I watched Ninjago, I think it was 2014 or 2016, I'm not sure. But I've watched Ninjago and rented from Family Video around those times. I watched it and we rented it so I can watch the whole thing. It was pretty interesting and it was pretty fun to look forward to. Ninjago movie as well. That's another cool thing. I think that Ninjago movie, I gotta watch that again. Man, I think it was somewhat of a memory. That movie I think can take me back to me in that yellow bedroom back in like the 2019, 2020, 2018, 2008, 17. Um, it just takes me back to those days. Oh, these memories are so underrated. Ninjago, I watch it a lot. Um, if I had to rank Ninjago though, I think in terms of ranking it, I think it's a vibe. And it is a memory because I do have some takes that are interesting on it. And I think if I had to rank this, I'd probably say I think it's an A tier. It's just a memory, and you know what? Maybe I'll. You know what? No, I'm gonna put Ninjago S tier because I think it's amazing to watch, and it was like a cool. I'd say it hit my memory lane a little bit right there with that cartoon show, and yeah, even with Legos, I even got a I had a Lego collection going on for something like it in a way. I used to collect Legos when I was young. I wasn't like a die-hard type of fan of Legos, but got Pirates of the Caribbean um, Legos. I got like a random custom like Lego. I'd always play with them, but I'm not like a die-hard like into creating like the Lego builds and stuff. I'm not into that stuff. I wasn't into that stuff. I was into basically how the way it looked and it intrigued me in a way. So, anyways, the next one the next one is Big Mouth. Big Mouth. When I was introduced to that, I believe it was 2017 or if it was 2016. I think I was over to my aunt and uncle's house, and I obviously had shells and cheese, macaroni and cheese. I started watching it. Thought it was amazing to watch, honestly. And yeah, I think this is a vibe cartoon show. I'd say it's not for kids, but apparently this is an adult cartoon. I will say, and I like it. I like it. I'd say um I thought it was a vibe. and it was something to look forward to. And the reason why I'm saying it as a vibe because it would always start on the fall time, and every year when there was a new season, it'd be around the fall time, and I'd always go look at the trailer, see if it was out, and I'd always be excited. I haven't watched the last season of it, but I've watched every season until the new season. And I think I have quite a few memories with it, stemming from 2016 through 2023 or 2022, somewhere around there. I watched it in my aunt's house. I remembered there was a site called Flickster.2 where you could watch um, TV episodes, something like that. And I remember watching that on my tablet. Man, that just takes me back a little bit. 2022 can be a great vibe, I'd say. And I think Big Mouth, in my opinion, I think it's I'm ranking it S tier for that one. I think it has hit the margin with a vibe with every fall time to look forward to. It was obviously a huge statement to prove to the company, the show, what you listen to, and it was a vibe to listen to and watch. Honestly, I thought it was a vibe. I'd say it's crazy, but the humor on this is crazy and interesting. Yeah, I like Big Mouth. I think it was good. The next one is The Loud House. Yes, I think The Loud House is obviously clear. I like that show. I'd watch it, and I still watch it to this day. Um, I remembered Family Video too. I rent this, and they have episodes and stuff, and I'd watch it. Back before I didn't even have like the new updated antenna for my house, but um now I am available to watch it on my tablet. I can watch it on my um, TV now because we recently got ourselves a new antenna, so we can look at the channel and to see if whatever cartoon is on there, I could watch it. And yeah, I think the Loud House is underrated. I like Lenny and Lori. Those are my favorite characters. I'd say like it'll be a cool genre to look at. Like they're teenagers and it's just right. It's just cool. I have some memories with it, I will say, and I even went bowling. I think when I got done with bowling, I watched this over to my uncle's house, maybe. But yeah, I think if I had to rank the Loud House, I think it's an S tier. I think it's an underrated show to watch, in my opinion. But anyways, yeah. The next one is the Powerpuff Girls. I've watched a couple episodes from the Powerpuff Girls. Mm, I don't know what to say. I've watched a little bit of it, I'd say, and it probably died down for me, I will say, actually. And if I have to rank the Powerpuff Girls, because there's not really much to know about, but I can't say when I watched it. Maybe no, maybe it was 2014/2015 when I watched it a little bit, somewhere around there. I'd say. Um, I think if I have to rank this, I mean, I think it died down, but I will say it's a C tier for Powerpuff Girls, just because I just don't have really anything really much to say, and it died down. I can just remember these things, sure. But anyways, the next one is Uncle Grandpa. I remember when this got released. I think it was 2012 or 13, somewhere around there. But basically, the memory I have with it is, I mean, I didn't watch the show a lot, I started to not watch it a lot. I watched like probably like 6 episodes from Uncle Grandpa, and if I have to give you the memory, I remembered going to a bowling alley where my sister used to bowl. And when that dropped, it was playing it in the bar. So basically, they have a TV, I mean, the bar at the bowling alley, and I'd sit in there, and there was this lady that handed me a remote where I can like flip through channels and stuff. And I came across Uncle Grandpa, and I watched quite a few episodes from it. Started to enjoy it, and then when it got to the 6th episode, I started to not watch it as much. Um, I don't have really too much about it with the memories and stuff. But all I can say is it is somewhat of a memory, and if I have to rank Uncle Grandpa, I think I'm gonna rank Uncle Grandpa probably B/C tier. I will say. I do find it a memory a little bit with it. I would say, and I just gave you it. So yeah. Next one is Robot Monster. Um, I have a memory with that show. I remember watching that show when I stayed the night over to my aunt and uncle's when I was really young. And yeah, I'd watch it. It was pretty cool. And macaroni and cheese. Oh, I love macaroni and cheese. And matter of fact, if you guys did not know this, I haven't had macaroni and cheese in a really long time because I went through my diet thing and I had to stay away from flour/pasta because of it. I do have a memory with it. Like I said, stayed the night over to my aunts and uncles, and this was on in the morning time, and I watched it. This was, I think, 2012 or 13 when that came out. I mean, not came out, but it was around that time where I watched it. Wait, I could be wrong. Let me see if I can search up Robot Master. When did Robot Master come out? Oh no, not Master. Monster. Yeah, there we go. Oh, see, look at there. Am I right with where I'm describing this stuff? I have a whole bunch of memories with it. Yes, 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. It was on, and I watched it a little bit. And so I think if I have to rank this, I think it's somewhat of a memory, but I didn't really watch it as much. I would say it's a C tier for that one. I remember I can have like a little memory with the purple monster, a little bit, but he had like a cool accent when talking into the. Anyways, the next one is Consagrandes. I watched a couple episodes, and this is based off of the Loud House because the girl is friends with Lincoln Loud from the Loud House, and they did some chit chat and stuff. And basically, the girl's name is Ronnie Ann, and so I think there was like an episode where Ronnie Ann was like leaving his city and was going to move into like a city like far away or so. I'm not sure, but I've watched quite a few episodes from Casa Grandes, and I could watch the show if I want to. And I think it's some interesting vibe, I'd say. The time of watching the Casa Grandes, um, I think it was 2021 when I watched it. I watched it a little bit, I'd say, with it. Um, I can say there's some memories I think I can. Oh, sorry. I'm yawning. Excuse me. Casa Grandes, I only remember, I think, watching that over to my aunt and uncles. That's the only thing I could tell you from that. I think I would rank the Casa Grandes B tier, I'd say. Okay. Next one. Sanjay and what? Sanjay and Greg. Sanjay and Greg. I've watched a little bit when I was young. I think 2014. I probably can tell you that I watched it, and I don't have really any interest in watching it anymore. So I will rank Sanjay and Craig D tier because I don't really have too much of memory, but I do remember watching a little bit of an episode. And oh yeah, to give you guys a little bit more context about the Loud House, um, the Loud House right here. Um, I think when I watched the Loud House, I believe also that I watched it the first time was like down at my uncle's deck, and he had like a TV. He would watch TV down there, and it'd be such a vibe. Sadly, that stopped happening because lightning apparently struck the satellite for it or something. I'm not sure, but it stopped working for the TV. And, even the TV, he handed me a TV, and the TV, I started watching Ninjago a little bit in my room with it a little bit as well. That's another cool, interesting story. He gave me a TV that didn't want to work down for the thing, and yeah, I brought it to my room. It was cool. It's awesome to learn a lot from you with the stories and stuff. But anyways, yeah, Sanjay and Greg, I don't really have too much with it, I'd say. The next one is Looney Tunes. Yeah, I do have memory, but it is not really related to the show. But the Looney characters that hit me really good, I think, is Tweety Bird and Sylvester. I think those two characters are like the only thing that stick out to me when watching Looney Tunes because Tweety Bird has like a it was like a show that was because the only thing I can like remember is that we had like VHS cassette tapes, and I'd watch this in my sister's bedroom or if it was downstairs in my old house. But I remembered watching the VHS tapes with these two characters, and they had like separate episodes, probably like three per cassette tape or four episodes. I we had like two cassette tapes of basically Looney Tunes of the Tweety Bird and Sylvester, and I thought that was a memory. I love the fact how we had static on the TV when watching it a little bit with this. It just such a classic. Um, I will not um say about anything too much with these characters because I didn't really watch them while watching Looney Tunes, but I'm only going to be ranking Sylvester and the Tweety Bird show on this one. Um, I think it's an absolute classic. I will say it's an S tier because it does bring out huge variety of memories. Um, when watching Tweety Bird and Sylvester, I believe I watched it in 2008 or 2010, somewhere around there. And this was, I think, maybe, I'm not sure if it's like the first ever cartoon I watched, but I had a lot of there was a lot of times when I was young and I'd watch all these stuff. But I do remember when I was extremely young, I'd watch VHS on there. It was such a vibe. I would say 2008, 2010, somewhere around there. But anyways, the next one is the regular show. There is some edits I'd say on YouTube. Um, Takes you to 2017, 2019, somewhere around there. But me, I think when I watched the regular show, I think it came out 2014, but I think when I watched regular show, it was 2016, somewhere around there actually. And yeah, I didn't really watch it too much. I saw some episodes that I watched from the regular show. Um, I think if I have to rank the regular show, I'd probably say it is B/C tier. I don't really have too much memories with it, but I can tell you, the only thing I can think of as of memories, I think it's like Uncle Grandpa, where I was at like a bar in the bowling alley and I watched it from the bar, and it was like one of the channels where you can like watch it and stuff. This was not like on an indie channel show, whatever, streaming channel, whatever you call it, just channel. It'd be on there. So I'd had to rank regular show B/C tier. That's all I can say. The next one is BoJack Horse. Will Aaron can give me a clear description of his voice. He can like take me. I didn't watch the whole series of it, but I've watched edits be made out of this guy because he'd be a huge description of depression. And I believe this is an adult show as well, ladies and gentlemen. Just to give you guys, I'm just throwing it out there too. And this would be an emotional roller coaster kind of guy. He'd be like a sad horse man in this one, but I can remember sad edits from him, and that's all I can say. I think maybe I'll rank BoJack Horse B tier. I don't know. It's some when I look at this character, it just takes me back to 3D Pixel Gun days when I was 49 Wars back in the old days, and was playing 3D Pixel Gun, and I seen the edit when it was like playing 3D Pixel Gun of I don't know if it was when I was on my Kindle Fire HD, and I might even do a video in the future. I'd like to note this as well. I think I might do uh, a video of me ranking handheld devices that I owned, and we could talk about it a little bit more. I have huge lore with this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I do. BoJack, man, I don't really have too much memories with. I would say only thing I get is the edits in 2017, 2018, 3D Pixel Gun, 49 Wars, anything like that. Kind of circles around this show a little bit around the time when that show was released, I'd say. The next one, Adventure Time. Adventure Time. Um, I remember watching in 2014. I watched some episodes. I went over to my uncle's aunt and uncle's house, and I watched a little bit from it. A little bit. It was really boring a little bit, but then when it got to 2017, like I said before, Family Video when they was renting and stuff. We had renting stores, and Adventure Time was in the store, and I decided to rent episodes from it, and I watched quite a few episodes from it. Edits also are from this too as well. Like people made edits on YouTube for this stuff, and yeah, it'd be such a vibe to watch it. And when watching Adventure Time, I remember watching it in my yellow bedroom at the old house. Again, this is another relatable story with the Ninjago series. And I'd watch it, and I remember eating breakfast, and then I remembered I my mom bought me shells of cheese, and she'd cook it for me, or I would make it myself, and I'd take it to my bedroom and eat it, and watch the show from there, just to get away from my dad in a way. But anyways, Adventure Time, in my opinion, I think is somewhat of a classic. To rank, probably A tier. I think it's an A tier. I'd say Adventure Time was okay to watch. Somewhat gives me cousin vibes in a way because I'd always go to my cousin. I mean, I went to my cousin's house like twice, and I remember going downstairs and playing Minecraft on his Xbox 360. And I tried staying the night one time, and I just didn't. Um, I didn't stay really long. I didn't even stay the night. When it got really dark and I was like laying in my bed, I said, "Hey, is it if I take a shower?" So I go and take the shower there actually, and then when I get done with the thing, I start changing my mind on going to home. Wow, but it doesn't have anything relatable to Adventure Time. That's like another free style story that's coming out of me. That's another fun fact about me that happened with this. But anyways, yeah, that's all I can say for Adventure Time. Bob's Burgers. I didn't really watch it. I don't watch it anymore. I watched only like a couple episodes before, but they're not really interesting to watch. However, I will say Kristen Shashal, whatever the name is, but that plays this girl right here. The only thing is the voice, I would say, from her. And I'd watch, and this is not a cartoon show, but The Last Man on Earth, I'd watch it. And that was like a 2022 vibe as well, because that's when I was like losing weight. And I remember laying on the ground on a moldy carpet and watching that stuff. Um, it was a vibe, I'd say. But Bob's Burgers, I didn't really watch too much. But if I have to rank Bob's Burgers, it's kind of boring in my opinion, and I think I'd rank it D/F. I'd say. But anyways, the next one is Dragons Riders of Berk. I think I'm reading Riders of Berks. Um, I've watched a little episodes from there. I watched the movie too as well. Um, I don't really think I'd watch it. I'd say I don't think I'd watch it. Yeah, that's all I can say. I can't really give any detail. I'm probably just gonna give it D. Um, I don't have anything memories or associated with that really much, but all I can say is I watched like a little episode or two from it and thought it was boring actually. So next one is Gravity Falls. I've watched quite a few episodes from Gravity Falls. Nothing really seems to hit me with it. Show. All I can say is there's edits. There's like an episode where their grandpa or something um, dies or just went missing for some reason. That's all I can say. Or it could have been that there was his head missing or something. I'm not entirely sure, but it was like an episode where it was something like that. Um, Kristen Shaw plays this as well. Um, yeah, I didn't really think too much about Gravity Falls or watching it, but it could be pretty interesting to watch, maybe. Um, I think if I had to rank Gravity Falls, I'm probably just gonna put it probably like C/D tier. I know I watched like a little bit with it. I can't really remember if it probably was like 2017, 2018 when Gravity Falls was on. But anyways, the next one, Kung Fu Panda: Legends of Awesomeness. So I will tell you, I think it was 2015 or 2014, somewhere around there time. Um, I believe when I was young, they had movie disc in cereal boxes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That takes me to a story. But anyways, it had all these different cartoons on it, and then there would be like a disc I watched, and I don't think I have it anymore because it broke apparently. It was in like a package thing, like for basically to protect the movie disc. And I remember there was like an episode that they only just recorded only once on it on a disc, which I find it very not useful movie disc. But I can tell you, Kung Fu Panda: Legends of Awesomeness. I think it's okay. I'd say. Um, I didn't really watch the show too much, but I did like the art style, I'd say. But I do have a memory, and getting a cereal box and watching an episode from this was pretty awesome times, I'd say, and it was like a treasure moment. If I have to rank Kung Fu Panda Legends of Awesomeness, and oh yeah, this also just took me back a little bit with this show as well. I remember Kung Fu Panda Legends of Awesomeness. I think I remembered too when I went to like a hair salon where they cut my hair and stuff. They had that TV show or the cartoon show on. Whoops, I don't know if you guys seen what happened, but I'm sorry. If you seen a black screen that happened around here, I'm so sorry. That happens quite a few times. I'm not sure why it does that, but Kung Fu Panda used to have been played in a barber shop, and I remembered while waiting, I'd watch it there. Cool times. Um, Again, 2014, 2015 is when I watched it. Um, the recent one, probably 2018, 2017. I'm not entirely sure. Went to with my cousins to get a haircut one time, and this show was on too as well, and we were like playing with toys and stuff. It was just so cool. But anyways, if I have to rank this, I think it's an A/B tier, I'd say. Um, so yeah, I like the art style for that. The next one is Rick and Morty. Um, I don't really watch the episodes for Rick and Morty, honestly. Um, when I started to watch a little bit of it, I mean, I didn't really look into it as much, but I like the fact that they had advertisements for Pringles, even though they didn't. Rick and Morty didn't like being in advertisements. They did Wendy's, they did Pringles. That's what I can tell you. I remember from it, and yeah, um, there was like season. I'm not sure if it was 20. I don't think they have 20 seasons. If that's hold on. How many seasons does Rick and Morty have? Let's see. Yeah, so okay. It has 6 seasons. That's what it can say. AI is saying is 6 seasons. Could be wrong, maybe. No, maybe it's true. 2022, I remember there was like a Aquaman type of character in the game. I mean in the cartoon show I remembered, and I watched started watching a little bit, and it was interesting where they went back in time and there was this puppy dog or something that was like a wizard and tried to attack him. That's the only thing I can think of as Rick and Morty. Didn't watch it. My friend used to watch it. Um, but um he had like a hoodie for it, I remember. It was cool. I remember they were gonna even like make a real life version of this, but they turned it into a TV advertisement because they were gonna tease the real action one for Rick and Morty. But I've heard a lot of cool stories behind the scenes while making Rick and Morty actually. I remember that it was acting for Rick, and where I think the actor's name is Justin, but I can't remember the last name, but he was drinking beer and stuff, and he was getting so high of something, or so drunk or something. I'm probably more likely to say drunk because he was acting crazy with his acting, and it was like method acting, and it turned into a show or the cartoon show. It's adult cartoon show. It's Adult Swim. I remember it was on the adult show. I think Rick and Morty, in my opinion, I think I'd have to give this a B tier actually. Um, just because. But anyways, the next one, Star versus. Hold on. Star versus Furious of Evil. um. However, I do want to say something about that. Um. I've watched edits where they're a couple apparently. I watched edits before. That's all I can say from these uh cartoons. They're like Adventure Time. They're like BoJack Horseman. It's like that type of edit. That's the only things that I come across when seeing these cartoons. I'd say I might have seen a couple episodes before from them, but didn't watch the series because I probably thought it was kind of boring. So I'd rank Star versus the Furious Evil. I'm not sure if it's that title, but I think I will say it's a C tier. I mean, the edits will give you memories for it. They'll put it on YouTube and they make their songs or something. And they make it hit the song with it. I'm not sure. The next one is Star Wars Rebels. I will tell you, Star Wars Rebels, when I first watched this, actually, this was premiering on ABC, and I think around that time, I think it was 2014 when watching the Star Wars Rebels. Uh, I liked the first season, but I stopped watching it because other things was happening around the world, I'd say. Star Wars Rebels, what would I rank it? I think I'd rank this probably. I mean, it's memories and stuff, but I'm gonna rank it C, I would say. Um, yeah. So the next one is Steven Universe. I didn't really watch it as too much, but I've watched a couple episodes. Um, I see this character hitting in Steven Universe's his was hitting. Uh, I remembered I go to my mom's worker's house because my mom did Pampered Chef. It's like a cooking type of company product type of thing. And yeah, we went over to her house because my mom had a meeting with her and I came along, I decided. And I watched shows in her basement and yeah, she had a TV selection too as well. It's like the first time I've ever heard of couch potato actually, if you want to know the truth about the Steven universe. I didn't really watch this show, but I do have a memory with it, I'd say. If I have to rank Steven Universe, I think I rank it B/C. That's all I can say. The next one is The Amazing World of Gumball. There's some memories a little bit with it. I see shorts on this, YouTube shorts on this quite a few times before. Didn't really watch the show really much because it was kind of boring and very bizarre cartoon show to watch, I'd say. But in my opinion, I think if I had to rank the Amazing World of Gumball, I think it's kind of a D tier, I will say. It's just bizarre and kind of boring, I'd say, to watch, in my own opinion, for me. The next one is We Bear Bears. I remember when this came out. I think it was 2013 or 2014. We Bears when it really. Oh, 2015. Oh, I thought it was 2013 or 14. Oh, 2014. Okay. That was close. Uh 2014. I guess I that somewhat makes it right, I guess. I watched a little bit of episodes from this, but it got really boring over time. Um We Bear Bears. I think if I had to rank this show, I'd say it's a D tier as well. Next one is Clearance. I watched quite a few episodes from this, and 2000, because I remembered when watching Clearance, I think it was 2017. I remembered I was at a hotel. I remembered, I remember I was at a hotel watching this show. It was morning time. We'd get breakfast. We'd come to the room for breakfast, and we watched TV shows, and oh, it was just such a fun vibe and a memory. But it recently resurfaced back in 2023, I think. I'll be 2023 slash 2024. Um, this show came back to me because it was relationships with the bald guy. I'm not sure it's his name, but um, him and some other girl kissed in the treehouse, and I remember Clarence and some other person. I'm not sure who this is. They ran away from him. Basically, they were grossed out of how he would kiss the girl and stuff. And apparently, this guy and the girl actually liked it. Um, do I consider this as a memory? Kind of do. I think I kind of do. I think I'd rank Clarence C tier though. Next one is Green Eggs and Ham. I didn't watch the show, but I have read the book. I didn't know they had a show, Green Eggs and Ham. I had no idea they had that. Wow, that's cool. But yeah, when I was young, I think I was like 7 or so, and we had Dr. Seuss books, and I remembered opening the cabinet for it, and I find them in there, the Dr. Seuss books, and I picked up the Green Eggs and Ham, and I read the story, and it was cool and interesting, and it was kind of, I mean, Dr. Seuss did a really great job of making the books and authoring it. It was really good. Haven't watched the show. Does give me memories. I think it's B tier, I guess. But I haven't watched the thing. Maybe it might be C tier. But anyways, yeah, that's what I have for ranking. All these other ones I've never watched. I never watched at all, honestly. But this is your ranking right here. This is the shows that I find when I was watching in childhood days, or I guess recently. That's what I'd watch. I'd sometimes come and visit the the cartoons and stuff because it's just fun and entertaining to watch, I suppose. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today's ranking video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.